You ever see a kid walk into a room full of high-powered suits and know, deep down, not a single person there is expecting him to change their world? I mean, that's exactly what happened the day Tyler Davis, all of 13, strolled through those giant glass doors at Quantum Edge Solutions in Austin, Texas, where his dad had worked security since before Tyler could even spell security. Now, to those executives, he was just Robert's boy, cute, harmless, maybe a little lost. They had no idea, not even a clue, that this kid was about to pull the rug out from under the CEO and save hundreds of jobs, all before most folks finished their morning coffee. See, Tyler's dad, Robert Davis, was the kind of man who showed up to work at sunrise every day, rain or shine, shoes polished, uniform pressed, always a polite word for the reception staff, and even a smile for folks who never bothered to look up from their phones. That job wasn't just a paycheck, it was how he kept his son's dreams alive, every dollar going straight to school books or groceries. Robert knew the building inside and out, every face and every story, but to those in charge, folks like James Worthington, CEO for over a decade, Robert was background noise, part of the machinery that kept their lives comfortable, but never worth a second thought. Thing is, while Robert kept that building safe, he was quietly raising Tyler, this mind-bendingly sharp, restless kid who'd taught himself Python and Java before most kids his age stopped reading comic books. Tyler didn't spend afternoons gaming or scrolling through TikTok. He was glued to free coding tutorials, building apps for fun, reading logs over his dad's shoulder, and asking questions that would stump even the senior engineers. "Dad, why doesn't Mr. Worthington ever say hi to you?" Tyler would ask, watching the CEO sweep by, eyes always somewhere else. Robert would just sigh and say, "Son, some folks think your job decides your value, but character's got nothing to do with your business card." You know what I mean. By the time Tyler hit 13, he understood complex systems better than most adults twice his age. He'd spend evenings at the lobby desk, doing homework, listening in on boardroom chatter, catching all the stuff people say when they don't think anyone's listening. That's where he started to hear whispers, little clues that Quantum Edge was in big trouble. Systems were failing, contracts on the line, millions at risk, and nobody upstairs had a clue why. Then one ordinary March morning, chaos struck. Just before lunch, a ripple of panic swept through the upper floors, transactions missing, data corrupted, clients threatening lawsuits. James Worthington, who always seemed untouchable, was suddenly sweating through meetings, barking at his top engineers, paying consultants 10 grand a day for answers they couldn't give. The company started bleeding money, $500,000 lost in a week, and the staff? They felt the axe swinging. People Robert had known for years were prepping resumes, calling headhunters, avoiding eye contact in the elevator. Tyler picked up on all of it. "Dad, what's happening at work?" he asked one night, pushing macaroni around his plate. Robert tried to sound calm, "Just technical stuff, kiddo, nothing you need to worry about." But Tyler's mind was already spinning. He remembered bits of overheard conversation, errors always at 2:35 p.m., backups failing, IT consultants looking completely lost. That night, when most of the building was empty, Tyler sat at the public terminal in the lobby, digging into system reports anyone could access. And just like that, it clicked. Every failure hit at the same minute, every day. 5 seconds of open vulnerability during the automatic backup. Hackers weren't lucky, they were patient, waiting for the system to let its guard down. So, Tyler mapped out everything, hand-drawn diagrams, logs, a full breakdown of how to fix it. He stayed up half the night double-checking his solution, knowing he was holding something nobody else had figured out. The next morning, hands trembling with nerves, he handed the envelope to the receptionist. "Please, make sure this gets to Mr. Worthington. It's about the system failure." She gave him a kind but dismissive smile. After all, what could a kid know that grown experts didn't? But Worthington barely glanced at the envelope, saw the childish handwriting, rolled his eyes, and tossed it in the trash on his way to the elevator. "A kid thinks he can fix my company? Ridiculous." By lunchtime, the system crashed again, right on schedule. Worthington lost another major client, and finally, out of frustration, called Robert to his office, not for help, but to fire him for letting his son interfere. Robert left with a cardboard box of memories, no job, and no idea how he'd pay next month's rent. Tyler, When he found out, felt like the world had just slammed him to the ground. 3 days went by, 3 days of silent meals, bills piling up, Robert pretending things would be okay. Tyler watched his dad struggle to stay hopeful, watched dinner portions shrink, watched dreams start to fade. And on Thursday, he decided he wasn't done fighting. He took his whole allowance, bought new paper, rewrote the solution this time. No name, just 10 pages of technical detail and a challenge. If the company cared about saving itself, it would read it. He returned to Quantum Edge as a junior consultant, requested a meeting with IT, and handed off the report to the department head, insisting it was from an anonymous specialist. All weekend, Tyler waited, tracking news of the company. System failures, more clients gone, bankruptcy rumors flying. Finally, on Monday, with one last chance before a $45 million contract vanished, the IT director burst into Worthington's office, report in hand, eyes wide. This is it. This is exactly how they're hitting us, exactly how to fix it. Why didn't we see this before? The fix was implemented, randomized backup times, secondary firewall, and for the first time in weeks, the system held strong. The big client canceled their exit meeting. The bleeding stopped. Only then did the board demand to meet the mystery consultant. Worthington was riding high, taking credit for saving the day, when Dr. Patrice Williams, the only black woman on the board, a self-made tech genius, decided to do some digging. Arriving late one evening, she found Tyler, alone in the lobby, reading code on a battered laptop. "You're Robert's son, right? The one who tried to help." Tyler nodded, ready to bolt. Patrice saw herself in him, young, underestimated, overlooked for all the wrong reasons. "Was it you who sent the anonymous solution?" she asked gently. Tyler hesitated, then nodded. "You saved this company, kid. Tomorrow, you're telling your story to the whole board, whether they like it or not." And so, the next day, Tyler Davis, hair combed, best shirt on, hands shaking, stood before a room of executives who'd never listened to him before. The CEO scoffed. "This is a joke, right?" But Patrice shut that down. "You promised to listen." Tyler laid out everything: logs, diagrams, the fix. At first, laughter, then stunned silence as the IT director backed him up. "It's true. His solution worked. It's the reason we're here." The room turned on Worthington. Why had he thrown away the first report? Why had he fired Robert? When confronted, the CEO tried to bluster, but no one bought it. The board chairman called for a vote on the spot. Worthington was out, escorted from the building in less than 10 minutes, his 15-year reign undone by a kid he'd ignored. In the aftermath, Robert was hired back. This time as head of corporate security, pay tripled, benefits set for life. Tyler was offered a full scholarship, a summer internship, and, in a twist nobody expected, a seat on the company's new junior advisory board. A real voice, a real salary, at 13. Dr. Williams made sure Tyler's first letter, the one thrown in the trash, was framed in the new office, right above a plaque that read, "Brilliance knows no age, no color, no class." And the company? It changed for good. Open channels for any employee to raise a concern, mentorship programs for kids from any background, and a brand new culture that finally measured people by what they could do, not by their titles, their backgrounds, or the color of their skin. So yeah. All it took was 10 seconds, the time to toss out a letter, to upend a career and change 2 lives forever. Makes you wonder, right? How many brilliant ideas have been lost because the world refused to listen to the wrong person? If you think every voice should count, let me know in the comments. Would you have listened to Tyler, or would you have tossed his idea, too? And if you want more stories like this, you know what to do. Because sometimes, the future depends on the courage of the one person everyone else refuses to see.